A radio personality is a person who has an on-air position in radio broadcasting. A radio personality who hosts a radio show is also known as a radio host, North American English, radio presenter, British English, or radio jockey. Radio personalities who introduce and play individual selections of recorded music are known as disc jockeys or DJs for short. Broadcast radio personalities may include talk radio hosts, AM/FM radio show hosts, and satellite radio program hosts, and non-host contributors to radio programs, such as reporters or correspondents. A radio personality can be someone who introduces and discusses genres of music, hosts a talk radio show that may take calls from listeners, interviews celebrities or guests, or gives news, weather, sports, or traffic information. The radio personality may broadcast live or use voice tracking techniques. Increasingly in the 2010s, radio personalities are expected to supplement their on-air work by posting information online, such as on a blog or on another web forum. This may be either to generate additional revenue or connect with listeners. With the exception of small or rural radio stations, much of music radio broadcasting is done by broadcast automation, a computer-controlled playlist airing MP3 audio files which contain the entire program consisting of music, commercials, and a radio announcer's pre-recorded comments. In the past, the term disc jockey, or DJ, was exclusively used to describe on-air radio personalities who played recorded music and hosted radio shows that featured popular music. Unlike the modern club DJ who uses beat matching to mix transitions between songs to create continuous play, radio DJs played individual songs or music tracks while voicing announcements, introductions, comments, jokes, and commercials in between each song or short series of songs. During the 1950s, 60s and 70s, radio DJs exerted considerable influence on popular music, especially during the Top 40 radio era, because of their ability to introduce new music to the radio audience and promote or control which songs would be given airplay. Although radio personalities who specialized in news or talk programs such as Dorothy Kilgallen and Walter Winchell have existed since the early days of radio, exclusive talk radio formats emerged and multiplied in the 1960s, as telephone call-in shows, interviews, news, and public affairs became more popular. In New York, WINS, AM, switched to a talk format in 1965, and WCBS, AM, followed 2 years later. Early talk radio personalities included Bruce Williams and Sally Jessy Raphael. The growth of sports talk radio began in the 1960s, and resulted in the first all-sports station in the U.S., WFAN, AM, that would go on to feature many sports radio personalities such as Marv Albert and Howie Rose. FM/AM radio, AM/FM personalities play music, talk, or both. Some examples are Rick Dees, Elvis Duran, Big Boy, Kid Craddock, John Boy and Billy, The Bob and Tom Show, The Breakfast Club, and Ricky Smiley. Talk radio personalities often discuss social and political issues from a particular political point of view. Some examples are Rush Limbaugh, Art Bell, George Norrie, Brian Lehrer, and Don Geronimo. Sports talk radio personalities are often former athletes, sports writers, or television anchors and discuss sports news. Some examples are Dan Patrick, Tony Kornheiser, Dan Cilio, Colin Cowherd, and Mike Francesa. Satellite radio personalities are subject to fewer government broadcast regulations and may be allowed to play explicit music. Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, Dr. Laura, and Chris Mad Dog Russo are some of the notable personalities who have successfully made the move from terrestrial radio to satellite radio. Internet radio personalities appear on internet radio stations that offer news, sports, talk, and various genres of music that are carried by streaming media outlets such as AccuRadio, Pandora Radio, Slacker Radio and Django. Notable radio personalities include pop music radio hosts Wolfman Jack, Jim Pewter, Dick Clark, Casey Kasem, John Peel, Charlie Gillette, Walt Love, Alan Freed, The Real Don Steele and Charlie Tuna, sports talk hosts such as Mike Francesa, shock jocks and political talk hosts such as Don Imus, Howard Stern, and Rush Limbaugh. Many radio personalities do not have a post-high school education, but some do hold degrees in audio engineering. If a radio personality has a degree, it's typically a bachelor's degree level qualification in radio, television, film, mass communications, journalism, or English. Universities offer classes in radio broadcasting and often have a college radio station, where students can obtain on-the-job training and course credit. 13 prospective radio personalities can also intern at radio stations for hands-on training from professionals. Training courses are also available online. Requirements. A radio personality position generally has the following requirements: good clear voice with excellent tone and modulation. Great communication skills and creativity to interact with listeners. Knowledgeable on current affairs, news issues, and social trends. Creative thinking, to be able to think of new ideas or topics for show. Able to improvise and think on the spot. Ability to develop their own personal style. A good sense of humor. Due to radio personalities' vocal training, opportunities to expand their careers often exist. Over time, a radio personality could be paid to do voiceovers for commercials, television shows, and movies. A radio personality provides on-air commentary, interviews guests, and takes calls from listeners of a broadcast or internet radio station. As a radio personality, your responsibilities may include researching subjects to present, booking and interviewing guests, and writing advance commentary. The nature of the subjects, guests, and commentary can vary widely depending on the type of station and the tenor of the show. Public news radio has a flavor distinct from morning entertainment talk shows. Your duties may include other work as well, such as operating a soundboard or interacting with your audience on social media. Radio personalities usually work for a specific station, but some may have more than one job in radio. The qualifications necessary to become a radio personality depend largely on the station. Most employers prefer applicants with prior experience, such as from another station or from an internship. Some stations want applicants to have completed a program at a broadcasting school, such as a bachelor's degree in radio broadcasting, audio engineering, or a related field. If the station is mostly news, a degree in broadcast journalism may be necessary. With some industry experience, you may consider joining the National Association of Broadcasters, or a similar association, to advance your career. Radio personalities speak or read from scripted materials, such as news reports or commercial messages, on radio, television, or other communications media. May play and cue music, announce artist or title of performance, identify station, or interview guests. To understand the type of work radio personalities do is to examine actual job postings and focus on the specific skills that employers are seeking. That will help paint a clearer picture of the tasks that radio personalities tackle each day. Radio still holds a unique charm in the era of streaming and on-demand content. The voices behind our favorite radio shows have the power to influence, entertain, and inspire. A radio personality, sometimes known as a radio host or DJ, is the voice and character behind radio shows. They are responsible for selecting music tracks, interviewing guests, interacting with listeners, and even relaying news or other topical content. In essence, they shape the atmosphere and ethos of the radio show they're hosting. To truly shine as a radio host, there's more to the equation than just a love for music or talk. It's a combination of inherent traits, cultivated skills, and a deep understanding of the listeners. From the tonal quality of their voice to the ability to connect with diverse audiences, here are some key skills that set successful radio personalities apart. Voice and articulation. While you don't need a radio voice, clear articulation and an engaging tone can significantly enhance your appeal. Adaptability. Live radio can be unpredictable. Whether it's a last-minute change, technical glitches, or unexpected call-ins, a radio host must adapt on the fly. Research skills, whether you're interviewing a guest or discussing a topical issue, being well informed is crucial. It enhances your credibility and keeps listeners tuned in. Connection with the audience, a successful radio personality resonates with their audience. It's about building a bond, understanding listeners' preferences, and, often, being a comforting or energizing voice in their daily routine. While natural talent can take you far, formal education in radio broadcasting offers a structured approach to hone your skills. Programs typically cover technical aspects of radio production, voice training, media laws, and even elements of journalism. Real-world experiences, such as internships or campus radio participation, can provide invaluable hands-on learning. Before landing a job at a major radio station, you'll need to showcase your skills. Start by creating a demo reel or a portfolio that highlights your range, style, and any special skills, like voice modulation or multilingual proficiency. Platforms like SoundCloud or personal websites can be beneficial to showcase your work. Radio is a diverse medium. From talk shows and music countdowns to news bulletins and thematic programs, there's a broad spectrum to explore. Discovering your passion or niche can help you stand out. Whether it's 80s music, local news, or discussions about cinema, finding your unique voice within a specific niche can set you apart. The world of radio broadcasting, like all media, evolves. New technologies, changing listener preferences, and shifting cultural landscapes mean that radio personalities must be lifelong learners. Engage in workshops, attend industry seminars, or stay informed about global trends. Being a radio personality combines artistry with communication, requiring both innate talent and cultivated skills. For those eager to step into this exciting field, the BNR network of media schools, with campuses in Miami, Chicago, Colorado, and Ohio, is the perfect launching pad. Our radio broadcasting program provides the foundational knowledge and hands-on experience to shape budding broadcasters. It's not just about the mechanics of radio, it's about crafting a voice that resonates, informs, and entertains. Here, you can take the first step towards a rewarding career in radio broadcasting. Your audience awaits. Thank you for watching this video.